Hello, welcome to YogaFest 2020. My name is Sharon Frost. The session today is entitled Addiction Recovery Support Through Yoga and Meditation. I'm glad you're here. You may have been or may be impacted by addiction as an individual, as a family member or friend, or as a concerned community member. So each and every one of you are welcome. If you are new to recovery or contemplating recovery, that's wonderful, absolutely wonderful. You may have long-term recovery, and that's equally wonderful. And everyone in between, whatever your experience is, as a foundation, I want you to know that I respect and honor all paths of recovery, all belief systems. So this is a safe place to be, and I couldn't be happier to be here and share this with you. Of course, I'd love to have it in person so I could see you and answer questions, that type of thing. But if people are interested, perhaps we can do a follow-up session. So just, these are very challenging times with the pandemic and all the things going on in the world. And so many of us have also been impacted by that, by all of the happenings, if you will. And so let's bring deep compassion and love into how we are viewing ourselves, how as a community we're addressing this widespread issue of addiction, and hoping that you will be open to what I'm sharing with you today. Please decide for yourself what resonates with you, and take with you again what you find will be helpful to you as an individual for your own well-being. I think I would like to just share just a little bit about my background. I come into the subject with direct personal experience as a family member, so I understand how far-reaching addiction can be on the health, on relationships, on perhaps finances, work, really on all aspects of one's life. And I also would like you to know that, and I think this is, very, very important, that, we're coming to this subject from a lot of viewpoints, and that's a good thing. It's really a good thing. And so I would like to have it as meaningful as possible for you. Clearly that's why we're here, to have direct meaning for us or impact. My professional background, I've been an occupational therapist and for many decades, a massage therapist. And then I had the great joy and honor of attending a yoga training through Golden Lotus Yoga Teachers Association through Song in the Morning. And I graduated fairly recently in 2018. And I'd like to let you know about this program. And we have wonderful instructors, Kay Thomas Hogan and Sandy Jones were mine. So many of the teachings that I'll bring to you today is directly from that, as well as other trainings, readings, that type of thing. I'm also a recovery coach and have taken a lot of courses and webinars, that type of thing. Most recently, actually, I just finished Tommy Rosen's Recovery 2.0 Awakening coaching program. was very intensive, excellent information. So I'll be bringing that to you today. I wonder if you're familiar with Recovery 2.0, Tommy Rosen. He has started just really a new conversation about recovery worldwide. He has a recovery community, and based on a higher awareness, consciousness, yoga, meditation, nutrition, and community. So more about this later. Let's start with one of my favorite quotes from Paramahansa Yogananda. Many of you are probably familiar with him. For those of you who are new, he wrote the book Autobiography of a Yogi, which has been distributed worldwide. And amazing spiritual teacher. Came from India in the 1920s to the US and brought a lot of teachings from the East to the West, and started an organization entitled Self-Realization Fellowship. So I'm going to read this quote. Focus your attention within. You will feel a new power, a new strength, a new peace in body, mind, and spirit. Let me read that again. Very powerful. Take a nice deep breath. Focus your attention within. You will feel a new power, a new strength, a new peace in body, mind, and spirit. I'm also going to read to you some of the benefits of yoga, meditation, and some of the breathing techniques. It's a rather long list, but I think that as individuals, you'll find something that is very relatable to you. So the benefits. It calms and centers the conscious mind, allowing one to focus. Balances blood pressure, calms and deepens the breath, allows one to better handle stress. Very important during these uncertain times. It improves concentration, intuition, rejuvenation, self-confidence, self-control, emotional stability, problem solving, higher creativity, and vitality. It can reduce cholesterol and cardiovascular disease, respiratory rate, free radicals, aging process, irritability and moodiness, metabolic rate, workload on heart, muscle tension, anxiety attacks, emotional distress. It also can increase blood flow, deeper relaxation capabilities, serotonin production, which influences mood and behavior, depression, obesity, insomnia, and headaches. It can enhance the immune system, very, very important with the COVID-19 and all the other immune disorders that we're seeing in our country and world. It can enhance postoperative healing, learning abilities, and memory, reversal of chronic diseases like the inflammatory diseases of allergies and arthritis. And very importantly, it can spiritually increase awareness of being one with the infinite, however shape, form that you may relate to, or perhaps not. It allows intuitive guidance to come through by being attuned to the source. So many good things. So I'd like to share a little bit again from this book, Recovery 2.0, Tommy Rosen. His definition of addiction, which I really think is a good one. It's quite universal. And so, again, you can decide for yourself. Addiction is any behavior you continue to do despite the fact that it brings negative consequences into your life. Let me read that one more time. Addiction is any behavior you continue to do despite the fact that it brings negative consequences into your life. And I'd like to read to you the big 6 addictions. Um, these are the most prominent areas that people are affected. The first one is drugs, and this refers to illicit or prescription drugs. The second one is alcohol, which is so widespread, very widespread. We all are aware of that. The third is food. When people are addicted to food, they have struggles with emotional eating, binging, anorexia, and bulimia. Next is people. These involve relationships, intimacy, sex, codependency is a huge one in this area. Next is money. Money-related addictions include gambling, habitually being in debt, shopping, and overspending. And the last one is technology. And this is fairly new to humankind. We all know about that. Our computers, our cell phones, our iPads, television, movies, all of that. Not saying any of these are good or bad, just saying that they can present problems with addiction. The next thing I'd like to share are the 4 aggravations, which were fairly new to me. I hadn't heard about them and was grateful to do so. These are thought addictions. And again, based on our definition of addiction through Tommy Rosen, I think you'll see why. The first one is negative thinking. As we know, thoughts are very powerful, so negative thinking. The second is self-doubt, and self-doubt is negative thinking turned toward oneself. Self-doubt. The third is procrastination, and I like his quote, "I'm not going to do what I need to do. Instead, I'm going to try to distract myself from dreadful feelings which are now growing inside of me because I'm not doing what I need to do." Yeah, very common. And the last one is resentment. And I think that we're all familiar with that, personally, or have felt that from others, and very, very important to look at. So just an offering for you to consider. For those of you who are new to yoga, meditation, breathing techniques, I think the direct experience is a good way to share that information, which we're going to go forward with right now. Yoga means union, so union. Yeah. And if you want to know more or read more about some of the ancient teachings of yoga, one of the books one of my favorite books is the Secret Power of Yoga, and it's by, I hope I pronounce this right, Nishala Joy Devi, and it's a really wonderful, a lot of wonderful teachings, simple, elegant, and deeply personal interpretations capture the spirit of each sutra, and her suggested practices offer numerous ways to embrace the spirituality of yoga throughout your day. So just that'll be on my reference sheet as well. So when I begin a session, I like to really set things up so to kind of honor myself, those of whom I'm doing a class with, by doing a few simple things. One of which, again, many of you probably do, is light a candle. I was just listening to a teacher recently, a few days ago. I'm in a meditation group, Sangha, and he was uh, just talking about how when we, really delineate or set apart our time, it's kind of like bookends, the beginning and an end. Doing that through chimes, sound, um, lighting a candle, or just setting up your environment in a way that you like it. And I actually started this recording a few days ago, and I was like, just feeling a lot was going on, a lot was happening in all our lives, and I was thinking about skipping my weekly meditation group, and then I was like, I need to practice, which I do regularly, daily, but to really take that time, set that time aside, so that I could bring to you uh, calmness and bring to you um, really my most authentic, deepest self. And so that was just a good reminder to me. And I ended up really feeling much better, as I always do when I do yoga, meditation, breathing. And I hope that'll be your experience today. So I'm going to light a candle. I have this absolutely beautiful, gorgeous bowl that my husband Ivan made. It was maple burl that he, sure this is lit, really all of its unique beauty. I light this candle for you as an individual, recognizing and honoring the light within, and for myself, and for our community at Song in the Morning here, YogaFest, and beyond, and for the world, who really we all need as much light and goodness and compassion as possible now. We always have, we certainly do at the present, and we always will. Put that here, and then I bring out an essential oil. Again, many of you probably use these on a regular basis, but for those of you who do not, there's a wide range of essential oils that can be very helpful in supporting your health and supporting your well-being. To do what I like to use it for, oftentimes I keep in my purse, my car, all around the house, in my treatment studio, but just to do a little bit of shift. Scent is very powerful, as we know. If something's baking, it can just sort of enhance and make us feel so good or comforted. I'm bringing out a lemon. I like the citrus. For me, they're very uplifting and calming at the same time. Many people like lavender, some of the sandalwoods, frankincense, bergamot. I mean, the list is endless. So finding out what might be helpful for you is I really strongly encourage that. So I'm just going to sit up nice and tall, take a nice deep inhalation. If you have an essential oil readily available, you can go ahead and use that. If not, just take a deep breath in and then exhale. Another one. And exhale. Very refreshing. Of course, if you have any allergies, it wouldn't be advised. And then I am going to, I have to hold for just a moment. I use this all the time. It's just a very small chime. So let's all sit up nice and tall in your seat, shoulders relaxed. We're often forward and up, working on our media, technology. Dropping the shoulders, sitting up, having our spine in upright position. Think of a string at the top of our head, going up to the ceiling like a plumb line. Chin in a little bit, level with the floor. And just make yourself as comfortable as possible. If your feet are flat on the floor, you'll feel a little more stable. Perhaps you need a pillow behind your back. It's kind of the occupational therapist in me, having that low back support. Perhaps you're seated on the floor. You can sit on a blanket or a meditation cushion. Perhaps have blocks beneath your knees to give you a little bit of more support. Just being as comfortable as you can. Maybe things have been really stressful and you just need to lie down. That's fine too. Absolutely. Whatever you need to do to make yourself as comfortable as possible. The best position as far as having our, greatest oxygen air intake is sitting up in the upright position. We can fill our lungs all the way from the top of our chest, mid chest, to almost our belly area where our diaphragm is. So that's a optimal position. And then putting our focus, if we in the center between the brow, the kind of this spiritual eye, if you will, and option to have your eyes open or closed. Sometimes it can be very soothing to have your eyes closed and to bring you more deeply in meditation. But for some of us, we feel more comfortable with our eyes open. And when attending a webinar session, just kind of seeing what's going on. So it's totally up to you, whatever you like to do. So we're going to start by doing, I'm going to activate the chime, and we're going to do 3 cleansing breaths. This is one of the greatest tools I can leave with you today, the cleansing breath, where we do a very deep inhalation through the nose, a bit of a pause, and then a double ha exhalation through the mouth. This really helps us bring in the oxygen into our system, which we need. It's the breath of life. That's what it's called, and for good reason. And then when we exhale, we can release carbon dioxide and maybe stress, maybe tensions that we're having with thoughts, concerns, worries, or thoughts and emotions, that type of thing, or just that sigh of relief and release. So we'll do 3 of those together. I'm going to activate the chimes. So let's just bring our awareness to right here, right now, to the moment that we are sharing together. So. Feel that shift. And let's do our 3 cleansing breaths. Deep inhalation and double exhalation. Good. Let's do another. And a third. Good. Now let's move into squared breathing. And squared breathing is simply 4 counts of inhalation through the nose, pause for 4 counts, exhalation through the nose, and pause for 4 counts. So let's do 3 of those. I'll talk you through. It's hard to do and talk at the same time. So we'll start with the inhalation through the nose, breathing in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhalation through the nose, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhalation, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhalation, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Good. So just a little sample of that. Some of you may feel a little dizzy if you're not used to that. It's okay. Just keep your normal breathing and just make sure the most important thing is that we're not holding our breath. I have a tendency towards shallow breathing, so if I bring my awareness to the breath, I naturally deepen it with my awareness. So you can slow down that count if you're counting to yourself. Doing this practice on your own, you can slow it down. As time goes on, you can increase that count. I can comfortably do it up to the count of 8. But really, if I'm very stressed or I'm just trying to bring my awareness to the breath, a lot of stuff is going on, I'll do the cleansing breath because that's a ready tool I have and I can do it very quickly and simply. Kind of gets me on track. And then I do the 4 count breathing. Now there's many different breathing techniques you may already be familiar with. But if it's something new to you, I think these are 2 of the most beneficial and easiest to learn, most accessible. Let's say it that way. Okay, all right. So I like to begin the what people term yoga or asana, the movement that we're going to do together. So again, I'm going to sit up nice and tall, and you can feel this breeze coming in. It's just been a heat wave, so I really appreciate it. I have my door open, and obviously I'm in my home that I'm sharing with you. So let's begin by some movements with the neck. Let's just gently turn towards the right, looking over our right shoulder. All of the movements that I'll be teaching today are going to be very slow, very gentle. I want you to be very careful. Back to the center, to listen to your body. If anything feels uncomfortable or painful or too much, just stop. Simply stop and just watch. It's best to go slow, have your movements nice and smooth, and to have your awareness be focused. Those are the most important things. You'll gradually, if you well practiced at yoga, then you know what your comfort zone is. If you're new to it, the most important thing is that you're listening to your body and adjusting accordingly. So now we'll just turn and look over our left shoulder. A gentle stretch, you'll feel it along the right side of your neck. And coming back to center. Good. We always pause in between. Now let's do some shoulders to the ears. And gently lower. And we never hold our breath. We continue to breathe throughout these movements up to the ears and down. Good. Let's gently roll our shoulders back. One of my favorites. Feels very good. Opening up our shoulder area, our chest, our heart chakra. Nice and rotating around. Good, good. Okay. Now I like to change this up a bit and alternate lifting the right shoulder to the right ear and down. Left shoulder and down. Right shoulder down. One more. Left shoulder up and down. Good. And just kind of shake it out a little. See how that feels. Okay. All right. Now we're going to bring our arms up towards the sky, towards the ceiling. Just lifting them up. Drop our shoulders a little bit. Finding out what's comfortable for us. If you're comfortable bringing the hands together, I like to close my hands and point my fingers. You can have your elbows bent if you like, or if you're comfortable, you can have them straight up. Just notice what feels good for you. And we're just going to take a nice cleansing breath, breathing in, and then out. Good. And we're just going to do a gentle lean to the right, feeling the stretch along the left side of our body, along our trunk, breathing, and coming back to center. Let's go to the left. Doing a half moon, leaning to the left and coming back up to center. Good. Let's bring our hands down to our chest. Again at the heart center. And I'm just going to have you lift your elbows and then gently lower your hands towards the floor. Feeling a little stretch along your forearms, your wrists. Good. Okay. Our hands and wrists. I don't know if you're a gardener. I've really learned a lot about gardening this year. Big greenhouse and a garden. So my hands have been working. To close your hands really tight and then open them really wide. Feel that nice stretch across your hands. We really open our hands super wide. Even the thumb, kind of making an L shape with your thumb. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Good. Now let's bend our fingers and like a cat on a ledge, if you will, and feel a nice stretch there. I've done a lot of hand therapy over the years, and I really have a deep regard in a lot of hand exercises that I think are important. Okay, good. And shake it out a little bit. Let's just do some wrist circles. One direction. Wrist circles the opposite direction. Good. Now I'm going to have you clasp your hands together. Do this very slowly. We're going to turn our hands out and stretch. You can keep a bend in the elbow if it feels like too much of a stretch. Drop your shoulders, sitting up nice and tall. Cleansing breath. You feel that nice stretch along your arms and your wrists. Again, if it feels like too much, you just stop. When you come out of this stretch, bend your elbows so you don't put a strain on your shoulders, and then open up. Good. I move my computer a little bit here. I like to do from our chair yoga, a spinal twist. I like you to take your left hand, place it on your right leg. Up a little bit. Place your right hand back, sit up nice and tall. And we're just simply turning very slowly and gently to the right. Doing a gentle spinal twist. Continue breathing as you're doing these poses. It's really good to activate those muscles. We tend to sit in a forward-facing position. Maybe you can go back just a tiny bit further. Good. And then we come back to center and we pause. Then let's take our right hand and put it on our left leg. Left hand back, sitting up nice and tall. And we're going to do our spinal twist to the left. Breathing. Having awareness along the core of our body. Perhaps you feel it in the lower back and the hips. And then coming back to center. Good. Okay, now we're going to do some hip rotations. And so I have, I can back this up a little more. Not used to the filming aspect of this. So hips, hands, notice where your hips are, bring your awareness to your hips. And we're just going to gently go forward, very slowly, not too far back, just warming up the hip joints and the pelvis. Low back. Good. If you do a lot of yoga, you can really extend, how far out you're going. Good. And then reverse. And awareness is really everything. If we put our awareness there, awareness into our bodies, we'll tend to our breathing. Eventually, as one gets more familiar with yoga, we really coordinate the inhalations and exhalations with the movements. That can be a lot for someone that may be new to yoga. Again, if you're familiar, you can put those in. I'm just teaching you right now that we are aware of our breath, that we're not holding our breath, and adding in the cleansing breaths in between really helps that. It helps remind it, brings oxygen, which nourishes our body and helps us with these movements that we're doing, these yoga postures and positions. Okay, good. So now let's just do some marching. I'm just going to do some leg lifts. Left, place it down, right, lifting up, again activating the hip and pelvis area, our upper leg. And just notice that as you place your foot down on the floor, that you do it gently. We're being very gentle with ourselves today. It's a good thing. It's a good self-care thing. Good, good. Okay, just checking how my time is doing here. Good. Okay, next thing we're going to do is if you can cross your leg, if you can comfortably do that. If you need support, you can put a block pillow under here, sitting up nice and tall. If you're feeling like you need back support, you're probably in a chair. As I mentioned, it was going to be chair yoga. I'm just have my treatment table here. Just make sure you might want to scooch a little forward on your chair, but make sure your foot is flat, stable on the floor. If you need more back support with your chair, it's kind of, you have to try different chairs to see which one's most comfortable for you when you figure that out. So I'm lifting up my foot and doing a shake. This is such a wonderful exercise to do. We put a lot of weight on our ankle joints and just kind of shaking it out. So you'll feel this kind of reverberating through your entire body when you do this shake. It's good. It's a good activating exercise. And then we'll just do some circles, nice and slow one direction and reverse in the other direction. So good. Okay, I get stable again. Make sure I'm comfortable. And then I bring my other foot up in equal time. We always want to, if we do one side, we want to do the other side, then we're in balance. So shaking, good. And then doing the nice rotations, one direction, good. And then the other. Beautiful. Okay, now we sit. Let's sit up and let's take a nice, let's do a nice cleanse, two cleansing breaths. Deep inhalation. One more. Good, good. Now I'd like to move into our meditation. Again, you can have your eyes closed or eyes open. It's up to you what you're comfortable with. We'll sit up nice and tall, shoulders dropped. Bring our awareness to this area. And I will guide you through this meditation, and then I will end the session with 3 chimes. If you're feeling very relaxed, you can stay in your comfortable position and continue with your meditation, checking in with how you're feeling and how is your body feeling. Have things calmed down, slowed down, taking this time together to bring our awareness to this very important topic. Probably the most important topic, of course, is our consciousness and awareness of our inner self, our true self, our authentic self. And it's a good time to bring any self-forgiveness, compassion, love for oneself, all of those things. So let's begin now with our meditation. Let's start by bringing in gratitude. Gratitude for our breath, the breath of life. Gratitude for our time together through YogaFest. Gratitude for those people in our life that we care about. Gratitude for this beautiful, lovely earth that we live on. For the stability of the earth, the soil, the beautiful plants and trees, the scents, the smells of the flowers, the pine trees. Gratitude for the water that we have so abundantly been graced with, the lakes, rivers, the oceans, the streams. It's gratitude for all the beauty of nature, all the animals, plants, minerals, everything. beautiful mountains. Gratitude for clean air that we breathe. The feeling of wind upon our faces when we're outside. Gratitude to the sky above us, the warmth of the sun, the light that brings light into our life, helps the plants, trees, the beautiful trees grow. In the night sky, with the moon and the stars. And the beauty of the sunrise and the sunset. The gratitude and grace of the life that we have. Our beautiful beating hearts. Gratitude for taking, or really setting aside time to honor oneself, to bring in the utmost of respect, forgiveness, compassion, love, and understanding. I thank you for joining our community today, for our time together. Much love and many blessings to each one of you. Om, peace, amen, namaste.